sort of been revealed that Marvel might have a director for Avengers 5, is it? Yeah, Avengers 5. And it's someone we know. It is Shawn Levy, who is directing Deadpool and Wolverine. So apparently Shawn Levy is top choice to direct Avengers 5. I just want to read this little segment from this article on IGN. According to a separate report today from The Hollywood Reporter, Marvel had quietly offered the job to Levy in mid-March, but he turned it down then due to his work as an executive producer and director on the 5th and final season of Netflix's Stranger Things, which will last into the next year. The studio, however, has reportedly pushed Avengers 5 back by several months, opening the door for Levy to step back into the mix. So, okay, as far as this guy's work I've seen, I think was he involved in the Adam Project? That was okay. That was an all right little science fiction film with Ryan Reynolds. I didn't mind that. Free Guy, I wasn't huge on. I can't lie. The missus loved that one, but it just wasn't for me. Just a bit too light and fluffy in all areas. That one for me. But as far as Avengers 5 goes, look, this guy probably is just like super easy to get on with, and I imagine Ryan Reynolds is going to have a pretty big part in Marvel MCU for the next couple of years. I think as far as box office goes, it'll be Deadpool and Wolverine that probably save the entire year. So that'll obviously make Marvel very happy. I'm sure they're going to utilize Ryan Reynolds absolutely as much as they possibly can. And, you know, if they've offered this the director's gig to Shawn Levy mid-March, you know, that they're obviously pleased with how Deadpool and Wolverine has turned out. Do you know what I mean? Because that's obviously early doors. We're like the third month in the year there. So Marvel have obviously seen, you know, cuts of the film and stuff like that. And they're just like, yeah, this is obviously the guy for us. And there was an article that came out as well a little bit after this saying that like it's reported that there's going to be all these returning characters coming back for Avengers 5. Now, obviously from the trailers that we've seen for Deadpool and Wolverine, there's a shit ton of characters in that film. Like there's a lot of returning X-Men characters coming in from like 20 years ago, old X-Men, X2 United, Last Stand and all that. So, you know, maybe this guy is good at handling large amounts of actors on the same set and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just maybe spitballing here, but yeah, I haven't really got that much to say about this. All this tells me is that Deadpool and Wolverine is a banger because they wouldn't be offering this guy the gig. And to be fair, it looks like they've pretty much held out for him. All the stars have aligned, obviously all the pushbacks, the writers' strike and whatnot. So yeah, this seems like a good choice for me. I know there was a lot of chat online, people saying they wanted the Russos back and stuff like that, but I think ever since the Avengers films, the Russos haven't had a massive hit on their hands, unfortunately. So I wouldn't be putting all my confidence back with them. I think Avengers 5 going forward need a new flavour, 100%. And it looks like we might be getting this with Shawn Levy. But yeah, guys, just quick thoughts on this one. Paul, go to you first, mate. What are your thoughts on this one? Would this guy be a good director for Avengers 5, do you think?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. They're very happy with Deadpool and Wolverine, so they've given the bit like what they did with the Russos, wasn't it? They give us, did they do Winter Soldier and then Civil War? And you can have these two Avengers movies if you want as well, and they knocked it out of the park with them. Listen, Marvel's a bit all over the place at the moment. Well, they're not all over the place. They're sort of getting their act back together. You know, they've come out with statements saying they're going back to the drawing board. They're releasing less shows, less movies. They're going back to quality over quantity. I'm just all eyes on Deadpool and Wolverine at the moment. I'm as much. A few years ago, I was all Marvel. Where they going? What they doing? Where they going? And I think they're holding their cards close to the chest at the moment. They're not really giving us a lot of information about where they're going. I think they're solely focusing on Deadpool and Wolverine, which is what they should be doing. They need to get people back on board with Marvel Especially more the casual fans, you know, the sweaties like me and Tarek, maybe even you two guys as well. You'll probably still all check them out until they stop making them. But we're under no disillusion that people are jumping off the train and, you know, have jumped off the train and aren't going in droves to watch them anymore. So we'll see what happens with Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that's going to absolutely make bang. I think that movie is going to make a lot of money. Like the ticket sales have been ridiculous. Apparently the websites were breaking and everything day one.
I booked my ticket.
Yeah, I'm not. I think I'm going to go AM. Well, I don't think I'll have to book a ticket, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit too cautious. Yeah, AM.
Do you mean,
like
do you mean
10
like,
a.m.? It's like a 10 a.m. showing when everyone's in school or whatnot.
I thought you were meaning AM, like the midnight showing. You know, like
no. Yeah, the midnight showing will be sold out 100%.
I booked like the first day, but like in the evening, and it's already like.
Yeah, I can imagine the evening shows.
All the good seats are away. It's all the flanking ones. The IMAX one. But
I think Wolverine. I think Deadpool Wolverine are going to smash it. I think that's going to make a hell of a lot of money in terms of a new. I don't even know when this is Avengers movie. I don't know where they're going with it. I don't think they know where they're going with it just yet. I think they're banking on Deadpool and Wolverine. I think they're banking on Fantastic Four, and then once they start getting a few hits, they can see where a new Avengers movie can fit into the slate and the timeline. But I've just gone off on a massive tangent when pretty much you nailed it on the head straight away, Alice. The reason they've given it on because I think they're happy with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, definitely. Tarek, how are you feeling about Deadpool and Wolverine? And do you think, even though we haven't seen the film yet, do you think this is a good choice for a new Avengers film?
Yeah, Deadpool, Wolverine. I think it's safe to say that we're all looking forward to the film. It's going to be one hell of a fun ride. You know, if you're going to go in and then, you know, people are like, okay, yeah, I want this, I want that. Listen, it's Deadpool and it's Wolverine, right? You got the two opposites, and it's just going to be really great to see them on screen together. First and foremost, it's just going to be a lot of fun. And then then everything else that they throw in, to me, is secondary. I want to see these two characters on the screen. Everything else, secondary, and wherever it leads. Excuse me, bloody hell. Wherever it leads afterwards, you know, and they're all talking about secret wars, right? This is where it's like kind of building up. So, and then when they talk about, you know, Avengers 5, yeah, they are doing some serious groundwork. And I've got a real strong feeling if they do give it to what's his name, Levy? Levy?
Levi or Levy? I'm going with Levy now, but someone.
All right, we'll go with Levy. I reckon, yeah, definitely. It's, you know, just like the Russos smashed it with Winter Soldier, you know, and then they were given a bigger job to bring all these Avengers against each other in Civil War, and then they gave us two brilliant comic book films. I think they were the ones, you know, the Russos were responsible for actually, how shall I say, keeping the MCU there, like that standard. Yeah, they haven't had any hits and everything now, but I've read a lot that they're actually buying a rights to a lot of novels, so they're looking to either make films or series out of these certain like murder mystery, serial killer type of stories that have come out, and that's why I think they're going to be hired as consultants. You know how there was reports saying that what's his name? So James Gunn was a consultant. Jon Favreau's been a consultant on near enough all of the MCU films, you know. And I think this is what he's got a lot of help. But he has got a lot of help and a lot of support. And if he is brought on board, it'll be really interesting to see what he can do. But he's got a lot of work on his hands, man. And it's a make or break. You know, that's an Avengers film. Let's just face it, it's an Avengers film. It's not an individual comic book movie. It's an Avengers film. How are you going to actually deliver the new Avengers film and just smash it? How are you going to bring everything
especially
together?
Coming off them last two as well?
Yeah, exactly, you know. So yeah, that's Marvel. I think they're definitely doing a better job now. I think Feige just got I think he got pissed off that everything, it was like, like the quantity over the quality aspect.
Yeah.
And even with Chris Hemsworth coming out and saying, yeah, I think I'm a victim of myself. I did too much improv. But who allowed that? That's the question.
Mhm.
Yeah. With Thor: Love and Thunder, I know some people love it just for the sake of loving it, but I think it should be deleted. Like,
It's terrible.
I'm sorry, man, it's dog shit, and it should be deleted. And from Ragnarok, yeah, okay, yeah, you had the humor and stuff, but it had some really standout moments in it, right? And then you get Love and Thunder. It's like, what happened? Was Feige even on set at any point to actually see what was going on? I think he wasn't. I think people just fucking took over and just like, yeah, okay, we're just going to do whatever we're going to do, but I'm being trusted with it. Yeah, we'll get away with it. And just had a laugh. Got paid millions, but the film didn't do shit. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, what the hell's Marvel doing? And I think Kevin Feige just thought, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he even said as well, like, I'm going to throw a fucking towel in. I'm out, man.
I think he had a time out behind closed doors a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't know about it, but maybe last year and the year before. Basically,
So, the whole thing about, sorry, Alice, the whole thing about, Daredevil, the series as well, Born Again, got scrapped, what they were doing. And then Feige said, no, it wasn't good enough, so we're going to take it back.
I love that.
It's and now everything we're hearing about it, we've hardly seen anything of it, but we know the big hitters of the year. John Bernthal's back as a Punisher, and he even said, I won't come back unless it is the Punisher that I know and that I've played. Okay. Yeah, they could give him a fat paycheck, but I think he loves that character too much to just say, yeah, I'll just do it for the money. He's not a Tom Hardy. He's not going to do a Tom Hardy thing on this, because he knows that if he does do a Tom Hardy thing, people are just going to say, you're a load of rubbish, mate, and keep playing, secondary characters. And he's coming back for it, and it's just great, when you hear these things, and that's what coming out next year.
Start of the year, start of 2025.
Yeah, start of the year, and I think Deadpool and Wolverine is the only film from Marvel this year as well.
Yeah.
So that's how. Just do it like that, man. Just do it like that, and keep hitting us with some surprises. But yeah, sorry to go off a little too much, but yeah, I think there's a Levy's definitely going to have a lot of support, and they wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, if he can bring all these characters together, man, it'll be really, really, really good for bringing those bums in seats again, and getting it back on top.
Yeah. With Marvel, I think slow and steady wins a race. Just bring it back a little bit, pull it back a little bit. Andy, what are you saying about Shawn Levy maybe directing Avengers?
Yeah, I think you covered it well, or at least the thought behind it. I think you've covered well. That I think Marvel, that's what they did with the Russos, didn't they? They just, let's have a look at the films that people like the most, and then give the finale to whoever seems to hit the home runs the most, and it worked for them with the first Avengers films, or the finales. So it kind of makes sense. Looking at his filmography, Free Guy, I know you said it was a bit fluffy and stuff, but I thought it was all right, and it's got that kind of Marvel tone. Free Guy, family friendly, mainstream tone. The Adam Project was actually quite surprisingly quite good. He did Real Steel as well, which had Hugh Jackman in it, so that you can see how it came about that he's doing Deadpool and Wolverine. So he also directed episodes of Stranger Things, and he's got more to come. So he's got a pedigree and a strike rate for sure. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I think that, just like you say, I think Marvel just got. I think they were just directionless after Endgame. It doesn't matter how talented Feige is and all the people involved. I don't think they knew what to do. And then COVID hit and streaming became massive. This will go on nicely to the box office topic, but like streaming became massive and it became feed the machine, and that's where the quantity came from, because it was like Disney own this now, and we want this platform to succeed. So let's just start churning out as much as we can to get people subscribing to this, which didn't work. Didn't work for them, and they nearly wasted it. But I think they've caught it just in time. I think that was the problem, and I think you're right with like Thor, Love and Thunder. I think they didn't really. I think they were throwing shit at the wall a lot just to see what worked. So it was like people loved Ragnarok, Taika Waititi. So it was like, yeah, Taika, just take it away, mate, and just we don't really know where we're going with this, so just do what you want. Hopefully it'll work out because people seem to like you. Didn't work out because it was probably directionless. Like, what was the plan off the back of that?
That's the thing, man.
Did anyone know where they were going off the back of that? No, they didn't, because it was just a case of let's gauge the audience reaction.
And having Christian Bale play that character Gore as well. What a great actor playing such a big character and going nowhere with it.
No,
it was like what. No,
it was a car crash. Love and Thunder, total car crash.
But it's like anything. The amount of films that they churned out and had success with, like no one keeps that in any profession, be it movie making or in sport. Nobody can keep a run like that up. You're eventually going to have a wobble. You need a change. I think you're absolutely right. People want the Russo brothers back, which I get, because they're just looking at what they love. Yeah, Civil War, Endgame, and all that. Like, just get them back. It'll be fine. But it won't, because we've done that. It needs to be a fresh take. It needs to be something new. So I think it's the right call.
It's a bit like in actual comic books when the companies just like go boom, right, we're restarting, we're getting new writers in, new artist teams to get all these characters, start again. That's what they need to do, and I feel like this is what this Deadpool movie is. I think it's going to be
reset.
Issue 1, a reset, if you like, of Marvel. I really do.